Long ago, in a quiet village nestled by the great river, lived a young hunter named Emeka. But Emeka was not like the others. He had no family, no father to guide him, no mother to comfort him, no siblings to play with. He was a child of an outcast, born into rejection. The villagers laughed behind his back. They whispered things like, "That boy, he will amount to nothing." He was the butt of jokes, mocked by his age group, and never invited to village gatherings. Despite it all, Emeka tried to live quietly. He hunted the forest every morning, but no matter how far he went, he often returned with nothing. Some days, not even a squirrel. One evening, hungry and tired, Emeka sat by the great river with tears in his eyes. He looked into the shimmering water and whispered, "Spirits of the river, if you are real, please, I just want to be loved. I just want someone to see me and accept me." As the sun dipped below the trees, something magical happened. The water began to ripple gently, then more violently. Suddenly, a beautiful figure emerged from beneath the waves. She had glistening scales that shimmered like silver. Her hair flowed like dark silk, and her eyes sparkled like stars. It was a Mami Water spirit. She gazed at Emeka and said, "I have heard your cry. Your heart is pure, but your pain is deep. I will help you." From that day forward, Emeka's life transformed. When he went hunting, he returned with game so large the villagers stared in disbelief. Deer, antelope, wild boars, all laid at his feet. He sold the meat in the market and became wealthy. His ragged clothes were replaced with fine wrappers and beads. He built a strong hut. The same villagers who once mocked him now nodded respectfully as he passed. "That boy has become a man," they said. "Where did he find his luck?" No one knew, no one guessed that each night, deep in the forest, Emeka returned to the riverside to meet his secret lover, the Mami Water. One night, one of the village boys, burning with curiosity, followed Emeka into the forest. He tiptoed behind him, hiding behind trees and bushes. When they reached the riverside, the boy watched in awe as the water sparkled and the mermaid emerged once more. She embraced Emeka, her silver tail curling in the moonlight. The boy gasped quietly. But the mermaid's senses were sharp. She stopped mid-sentence and turned her eyes toward the trees. "We are being watched," she whispered to Emeka. The next day, she came up from the water again. But this time, her silver tail shimmered and began to change. Right before Emeka's eyes, she transformed. Her tail became human legs. She wrapped herself in cloth and followed him to the village. "Introduce me," she said, "so that the world may know I am your wife." Emeka brought her home and told the villagers that she was his bride from another land. Her beauty silenced all suspicion. Even the boy who had spied on them kept quiet, unsure if what he had seen was real. Together they lived in peace. The villagers admired the quiet, mysterious woman who never aged, and Emeka's wealth grew. He became the envy of every man in the village. Even those who once mocked him now wanted to be like him. But soon, Emeka began to change. With riches came attention, and with attention came temptation. Women who never looked at him before now smiled at him. They came with gifts, laughter, and flattery. At first, he ignored them, but slowly he began to enjoy it. He stayed out later. He made excuses. He spent less time at home and even less time by the river. The mermaid wife noticed. She said nothing, but her heart was breaking. One day, she found beads that weren't hers, lip marks on his wrapper, and whispers in the market grew louder. That night, she returned to the river alone. Emeka followed her, but before he could speak, she turned to him with tears in her eyes. "You have forgotten me. You have forgotten the one who lifted you when no one else would. You have betrayed the love that gave you a name." She walked into the river, but before she vanished beneath the surface, she turned one last time and said, "From this moment on, your riches are no more. You shall lose all I gave you and become poorer than you were before." And so it was. His wealth disappeared. No gain came to his traps. His house fell into ruin. His fine clothes faded. The women stopped coming. Even his age mates mocked him again. Emeka grew old, alone, and forgotten. His story was told in hushed voices at night. Mothers warned their children by the fireside. Do not forget who helped you when no one else would. Do not let pride and ingratitude destroy your blessing. Thank you for listening to Tales by Firelight. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who still believes in the magic of African stories. Until next time, stay warm, stay wise.